Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you for coming back to another broadcast of the Ellis Network. Alright, so anyways, I brought out a video earlier to you guys talking about South Korea, North Korea, the possibility of evacuation for military family, and also a 72-hour military notice. Alright, I said that I was going to bring out a deeper video about it, looking for anything that I can find factual facts to bring to you guys. So this is what I found out throughout my research this evening. Now, what we do know about what happened with North Korea, just I believe it was 6 days ago, just under a week, they fired off their last ICBM test. They are saying that with this test, they can strike anywhere within the United States, the mainland. Now, they have also come out after this test and said that with the successful of this test, the success of it, they now declare themselves a nuclear state. President Trump has said, and Nikki Haley in the UN said, that the United States would never accept a nuclear state North Korea. Now, rumors are being speculated on social media, and there's actually even, I believe that what I'm about to talk about to you guys has been fear mongered a lot, but there is talk of it. I'm gonna tell you guys what has been said, and I'm gonna show you what's been said. Now, there's been rumors that military members are being told to evacuate the military bases in South Korea, the spouses of the military members, the children, and to get back stateside. Now, that is not a mandatory. What I'm about to bring out to you guys, that has been said that it's being it's a recommendation. It's not a mandatory evacuation. Lindsey Graham said it. I believe it was Sunday morning. We'll go read the post here in a second. But we also know that not North Korea, but North America, United States, is doing a massive military exercise war game with South Korea right now, and this is being called the 5-day vigilante ACE exercise, and it includes some 12,000 military personnel and 230 aircraft. Amongst these aircraft is there's 6 F-22s and 18 F-35, both of them with stealth capabilities. Now, we have, there's always, ever since Trump's gotten into office, there's been a lot of back and forth with North Korea, with President Trump, United States. Nikki Haley's been in the UN, and even President Trump went over to the Asian Pacific and did that tour, the Asian Pacific tour. And he had great relations with every nation surrounding, and they all agreed on North Korea. So after this ICBM test and after everything that's been talked about, President Trump's come out and said that he's well aware of it. He'll handle it. It just brings speculation, like I said, that these aircraft show up, and it's being said, not mandatory, but recommended for military families to evacuate. Again, there's nothing concrete evidence saying that there's going to be a strike within the next couple days. But it's still, there's a lot of things going on. If you guys remember, even if there was this whole front of the United States over there with all of this power ready to go for, in fact, an invasion, let's remember some of the talks back in the past. One of the strategies for military involvement within North Korea was, if we was to go in first, we would go in and try to take out all of their nuclear capable sites all at once. And that would be the only way that you could possibly do this to minimize casualties. Because Kim has in fact said that if the United States does invade North Korea, he'll drop a nuclear warhead on his own country. Not only that, but he would retaliate towards South Korea and Japan as well. Now, there's been simulations of this outcome, and every time that they've done testing to see how this would play out, it's always been a very dire situation. You know, tens and thousands of people would lose their lives the first day, and then hundreds of thousands of people would lose their lives the coming days afterwards with radiation poisoning and trying, the suffering and all that. So, the only way to really try to deliver a devastating blow and to cripple North Korea at this point strategically would be go in and drop airstrikes in strategic locations that house nuclear capabilities, whether or not be testing sites, it'd be manufacturing buildings, it'd be launch sites, wherever missiles are being stored at. We would have to make sure that we go in and get every single one of these. So, I mean, we have 230 aircraft in the region, and, 6 F 22s and 18 F 35s, both which have stealth capabilities. It does raise some question as to what's going on. Again, like I said, there's recommendations for a family to leave, military family. Now, I do know in the article that I'm going to bring out to you guys that they have said that family that live here in America wanting to go to South Korea to be with their family is being told to stand down. Not stand down, I'm sorry, but to stay back, stay stateside. I don't think they're allowing families to leave United States to go over there and join their families. I think they're trying to get families that's already over there to come back stateside. Again, this is just what's being talked about, and this is a scenario to keep an eye out. Now, what we do know is, again, like I said, South Korea, America, and I do believe Japan's over there as well, entertaining these testing. And we know that Kim Jong-un, he's not very happy with all that military presence. He hasn't been very happy with the last couple times that we showed this many military presence. And as far as him not being happy, he's just ran off at his mouth. But nothing has been done until tensions lowered down, and then he fired off an ICBM, and next we're back here again. Again, days after, with stealth-capable bombers for the first time ever, with all this personnel, 12,000 military personnel, and I think that's just American personnel. That's not including how much personnel's on the ground from, obviously from South Korea, and even Japan. So, there's a lot of things going on in this region right now that we really need to pay attention to. And we're going to get into another subject too, that I talked about, how the possibility of a 72-hour military notice. There's been a lot of speculation as to they're putting military on notice for North Korea. Again, this isn't very mainstream. I had to really, really dig. And there wasn't a whole lot of information mainstream that I can find. There's a lot of whistleblowing going on. There's a lot of some of my subscribed channels talking about it. I'll share the videos with you guys, but we'll get into that here in a little bit. Let's go ahead and get over some of this news. Now, again, we know United States is over there. The recommendations coming from Lindsey Graham. Sunday he was having an interview. I believe it was on Speak to the Nation or something like that. It's here in this article. The past 72 hours in the United States-North Korea tensions is explained in this article, and it's coming from the Vox. And it basically says National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster on Saturday said there was an increasing likelihood of war with North Korea. Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina said it was time to start moving American dependents out of South Korea so they don't get stuck in the middle of the fighting. Now, this was said a couple days ago. So, again, today it's coming out like really mainstream. I'm seeing people talking about it. But this was something, again, this was a recommendation that was made a couple days ago. So, we'll post that up. Okay, give me a minute. Let me go through my links. I got a few links up that I can talk to you guys, but like I said, I'm going to post all these articles in the description for you guys. South Korea, U.S. launched air drills amid North Korean warnings of nuclear war. And this is coming from Reuters. Again, I'm sorry, we're sitting here waiting on my laptop. But anyways, while we wait on this, we can go ahead and start talking about something else. There's a whistleblower by the name of Lieutenant Colonel Roy Potter. He's a retired lieutenant colonel. And he is stating that, he's talking about the North Korea problem, just like we are. Then he's also talking a little bit, if you guys follow, again, we've briefly talked about the sealed indictments here within the United States. We talked about the possibility of why the MEU Marine Operation outfit was at Langley at the CIA headquarters. April Lejeune brought out that, they were actually there to hold it down because some of these sealed indictments were getting ready to, be issued. And there was a fear of civil unrest, and this was during while President Trump was in the Asian Pacific. And then nothing happened. Within a couple of days, it started coming out that, in fact, maybe these Marines were over there to arrest some of these CIA operatives for corruption. And now there's a whole lot going on there. If you guys really get into, and again, you got to pick sides, I guess. I mean, I hate to say that. A lot going on with the Democratic Party, trying to really push the impeachment on President Trump. Again, lying FBI, Russia. But then you also have, the whole uranium one from the Democratic side, hanging off in the background. There's a lot of speculation that could be going on. And, this man's talking about the 72-hour military notice. Could maybe be for North Korea, but it could also be for domestic. And he puts in great detail as to why he thinks that. And when I watched this video, this was my first time watching this guy, but I did, agree with what he was saying based on my own information. And then I also watched, you guys heard me quite a bit over here at the Ellis Network, talked about BP Earthwatch, Jesse over there. He made a video earlier talking about the storm. And when he says the storm, he refers back to when Trump said there was a calm before the storm, and how they really think that we are in the beginning of that storm. And that's, these sealed indictments, the war on corrupt politicians. And again, he's agreeing that, there could be a possible coup and a counter coup going on within our own government, the CIA. No doubt, they're trying to tie the Clintons and the Obamas into the CIA being, their forerunners, I should say. We know that Barack Obama, he bought a house in Washington, D.C., and he's going to every nation right after Trump, which we all, that's very weird. If you guys look into the Logan Act, tell me what you guys think about that. But that's what's being speculated about that. You can look, again, I'll post the article, I'll post the link to the videos for BP Earthwatch and also the Lieutenant Colonel Roy Potter. And you guys can listen to what they're saying if you guys want to get more educated as to what they're saying about, sealed indictments and here within home. And maybe a lot of you guys have spent a lot of time looking into that, and I'm just going to pass the information on to you guys if you guys haven't heard anything like this. It's definitely, there's a lot of things that, even if you don't agree with it, it still makes you say, I wonder. Not saying it's not possible. But the United States and South Korea went ahead on a large-scale joint aerial drills on Monday and moved. North Korea said it would push the Korean Peninsula to the brink of nuclear war. We've heard this before. He said this about the last 3 drills that happened, and nothing has happened. Again, we're going to sit here and play, are we going to sit here and just keep letting the boy cry wolf? Or is, in fact, that last missile test was his final? We don't know. The brink of nuclear war, ignoring calls from Russia and China to call them off. Again, we know that Russia and China has both reached out to North Korea and even had talks with President Trump. President Trump had that great meeting in the Forbidden City in China with Xi Jinping. And then he also met with President Putin, I believe it was in Vietnam. And they discussed the Korean crisis as well. So we know that there's major exercise going on. We know that there's for the first time ever, all this stealth equipment. There's massive military personnel on the ground. It could very well be, in fact, that it could be gearing up for an invasion of North Korea. Again, I'm not here to fearmonger. I'm not here to say that's exactly what it is. But I'm bringing you guys the information that it could back up the possibility of it. All right, guys. So, I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna put the articles to all these, the links to all these articles in the description. You guys can click on and read them. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Trump is supposed to announce sometime this week the moving of the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. And then he's going to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. No doubt is that going to make the Palestinian and the Muslim community very, very upset. We also talked about that there was, a military base just recently built in Israel, and there was confirmations coming out of a massive military base in northern Syria. And we've always, we've raised the question as to why. Well, maybe this is why. Maybe they're actually intending for an uprising within the Muslim community, the Palestinians. We all know that Israel's getting, heavily involved with Iran and Hezbollah, and you got the whole Saudi Arabia and Lebanon and Yemen thing going on over there as well. So the whole Middle East, it's just changed focus. The crisis isn't anywhere over. The winds has just changed again. I'll put out a video tomorrow. I'm going to do a little bit more research on it. It was just brought out to me about it right before I started recording this video, so I just wrote it down so I'd remember. Alright, guys, so I'll see you guys later. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.